Hey crew, Arturo Spraycasso here. Welcome back. So I know, surprise, I decided to go live, didn't tell anybody what could possibly go wrong. So anyways, guys, now I'm just making a little tutorial here on a painting that we did not too long ago, a couple of days ago. And you know what? I think it's a good painting, and I just wanted to add a few more details to it. This is something that I've done in the past, and I know you guys have seen it. I'll do a painting and I'll finish the tutorial, and then people will be like, when I post it on YouTube or Facebook, people are like, Spray, that looks nothing like the painting that you showed. Hey guys, I'm gonna clean the camera real quick. That looks nothing like the painting that you showed when you did the tutorial. Well, it looks a little like it. It's just that there's times that people want to buy it. Like in this case, I was approached and somebody said, hey, I want to buy this. I have a room I think it'll be perfect for. And so I said, okay, great. It is for sale. But when I make these paintings for my tutorials, they're quick, they're fun. I call them quickies. And so I don't add a whole lot of detail. So, like in this case, when the gentleman said that he wanted to buy it, I said, okay, give me a little bit of time. I want to add some things just to make it stand out. And that's what I'm doing right now. And let's continue doing that. So I'm going to add a little bit of white here. We're going to use our soft tip tool. And the soft tip tool, you know what? This is such a neat tool. You can do so many things with it. I'm just going to, let me see, make sure that the camera is, there we go. I'm just going to add it on the edges here. And the beauty about this tool is that you can get some very fine details. Or if you push harder, you can get some really thick details. In this case, I just want to add very, very small details. I don't know if the camera is capturing them, but they're just fine lines, guys. We have other lines there. I don't need to fill the entire space. So I think that's good right there. All right. Hey guys, welcome aboard. As I was just saying earlier, I didn't inform anyone I was doing a live tutorial. So sorry about that, guys. I just sold this painting and decided I wanted to add a few more layers before it went to its new home. And so that's where we're at. I'm just adding a few more layers, and I was explaining that sometimes my paintings, I've gotten a lot of comments saying, hey, Spray, your painting doesn't look like the one that you posted on Facebook. Well, that's because either I add details to it, add a few more things, like I'm doing here, like I am doing here. Tap, tap, tap. And all I'm doing at this point is I'm just adding some highlights. And I'm imagining a light source. And this light source is coming in from somewhere over here. In fact, I've added a couple of lighter tree leaves. Look at that. Yes. So I added a little bit of just white highlights. And guys, that's the thing. They're so easy to do. You can do them with the sea sponge, but if you want to get more technical, and let me show you the detail that these highlights have, is soft tip tool. Guys, I mean, I know everybody's like, but I like my brushes, Spray. Yes, brushes are cool, but they come to a point where they get really hard and you can't really do a whole lot with them. Now what I'm doing here, I'm tapping into some white. That's all I'm doing, tapping into some white. Just adding a little bit on the rock. And look, it almost gives it like a glow, right? It gives it details. It gives it some sharp points. That's all I'm doing. I know I've had some people ask me if I, use airbrush on my paintings. Not that I'm against airbrush, not against it, but no, there's no need. I know the techniques to do this kind of stuff. Look at those rocks. See, just a little bit of white, and then you blend it into the background. And it looks like it's glowing almost. In fact, if I wanted to add a glow, that's how I would do it. Tap, 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 and then I'd blend into it. That's how I add my glow to the rocks. I'm just gonna add a little bit more right here. I know this is the same painting, guys, that we did a few days ago. It's just that I sold it, and the gentleman told me he was gonna go in one of his kids' rooms, and it's kind of like an artsy-fartsy room, right? The kid loves his art, and he's got a lot of paintings there, and paintings that they bought from other artists. And so I thought, well, if he's gonna go on the wall, I might as well add some details and not make it one of my, as I was saying earlier, I call my tutorials the quickies, right? Because they're fun. You do it, you make them, put them on there, but there's not a whole lot of detail. That's not a painting that I would go and compete in New York or anything like that. So I'm just adding highlights. I'm adding some additional details. Let me zoom in here. Some additional details that I wouldn't otherwise have added to my painting. But this is also the reason, guys, why a lot of my paintings, after I post them on Facebook, they don't look like the tutorials, right? And this is why. I'll come back, get a little bored. Oh, there we go. Just adding a little bit of white. You know what works better for highlights? White and yellow. It gives it a nice soft blend. It's not completely white. And I'm going to add that right on the trunk, right on the edge of the trunk. And anywhere where I feel that we could use a little bit of highlight. So if the light is coming from over here and it's hitting our tree, this is going to have a little bit of highlight, maybe right about here. Definitely on these little flowers. Look at that. Yep, here as well. And a little bit on this. You see this rock? I'm just going to add a little bit of white on there. Well, it's that white with yellow. I bet you guys didn't know you could do so many things with the soft tip tools, huh? Look at that. Oh yeah, man. No, you really can. You really, really can. Here, let me see if I can zoom in. Pretty cool, huh? All right, I'm gonna add a little more highlights up here. So I see we have a few viewers. Where are you guys from? You guys new to Spraycasso? Have you guys old school Spraycasso tutorials? The PBS show? All right, we're gonna add a little more highlight. Well, you know, I don't know if it needs highlight right here, but maybe just a little bit. And that's only because I am imagining a light source right about here. You know, these tree leaves, they're so easy to do, and especially once you have the soft tip tool. Look at that. And they look like leaves too. See that? Yeah, it does. It takes a little while. I'm not known for my patience, but I think it's definitely worth it. Yeah, actually, so if you want to create a more of a glowing effect, something that I would recommend you do is you can use a straight edge. I had one, I can't find it now, so we're going to use this one. And you can imagine that there's a light source hitting here. So you're going to have to oh, buddy, oh, pal. All right, well, this painting is dry enough that I think I can add that on there. All right, so I'm just going to tap onto here. I'm going to follow the shape of the tree like that. And then I'm going to just add a little bit of white. Not too much, guys. I said not too much, and I go and do too much. But the beauty of it, you see how it brightens it up? The beauty of this, let me find the clear coat. All right, just gonna add some clear coat. I like to, might as well cover the entire painting while we're at it. Now what I'm gonna do is make sure you're gonna have to have a clean tool to do this. I'm gonna take away some of the excess white, which will also give us texture. So see, these tools are super handy. Super, super handy. Look at that. You still have the highlights, but now you have texture. Very hard to do with other medias. I think the closest you can do with is maybe acrylics or oils. Look at that. So now we have a light source. So now we're going to have to really add a little bit more light. And I'm thinking just whatever colors you use on the tree leaves. Now this is, it started out as an abstract, right? So I was just using colors that you wouldn't see otherwise. But I think a little bit of blue, a little bit of white, give us a lighter blue. And I think that can help add to the effect that there's a light source coming in. And as I said earlier, you know, the tree leaves are very easy to do. All you have to do is just, here, let me zoom in, tap, and twist. And that'll give you that natural looking leaf. Now, you can use different size tips, right? Like you can use, I probably won't be using this one, but if you want to get bigger leaves, you definitely can. You just have to make sure you have the right size. I'm going to take advantage that I've got plenty of this light blue, and I'm just going to add a few touches down here. No, I'm not really, I don't really have anything I'm looking at. I'm just adding as I feel. Now, you don't want to use something overpowering like red. Red is very overpowered. One dot of red on the painting, and like all eyes will zoom in on that one. So, anyways. Yeah. Very easy to make little flowers with this tool. Yes, I do have my own brand of tools, but you can get these at Hobby Lobby. I mean, there's, as long as they're soft tip tools, guys, it doesn't matter. I mean, if you want to spray paint like the cool kids, then yeah, you want to get you some Spraycasso tools. I'm gonna add some of our fluorescent. This is Krylon. What I like about this fluorescent, it's almost see-through. All right, so let me see if I can position the camera. Do you guys like this better? I've gotten some great reviews on the camera, the point of view of the camera. I still have my other setup. My other setup is just basically, here, let me show you. It's another camera just looking straight down, capturing everything. But I feel that at times you kind of miss the opportunity of seeing what exactly I'm doing. So guys, let me know if you guys enjoy the point of view. All right. So the fluorescent, as it's very liquid-like, you can't really see it. You're gonna have to go into like some dark areas, like over here where it's dark. That's probably the spots where you see it the most. So I'm just gonna add a little bit there. And yes, so I did there's another tutorial that we did not too long ago, and it's also, I believe it's also another tree. And I added some more layers on that one. Oh no, wait, you know which one it was? It was the one where somebody wants to use it as a cornhole. They make cornholes, and so they want to use that painting. And so I'm gonna do the same thing before I send it off. I'm gonna spend a little bit of time adding details. I mean, especially if it's gonna be on a product, right? You want to make sure you spend a little bit more time than you would if you're just making a quick and easy spray painting. Just gonna add a little bit of, and all it is some of that fluorescent with some of that white on top of that light blue. So that'll give us a nice little mixture of purples, white, pink. It's a little bit of a mixture. Look at that. Okay, well, I think that's colorful enough. And for the purposes of going and maybe having a little barbecue or something, I think I'm gonna call it a day, guys. What do you think? Unless you guys want to see some more, I definitely, I don't mind kicking it here with you guys. It's been a good minute. I was asking earlier, are you guys old school Spraycasso fans, new Spraycasso fans? Oh, look at that. I like that. It really stands out a little bit more than I thought it would. Some of you guys watched the Spraycasso PBS show. I think it only showed up in Boston, so Massachusetts, New Mexico, Albuquerque, and here in Colorado. Oh, dog hair. I have a dog, and he is everywhere. All right, I'm going to add a little bit of clear coat. And what the clear coat will do in this case, especially with the straight lines, once the clear coat hits it, it tends to dissipate. And so what that will do, well, besides, look at that, it makes our colors so much brighter. All right, let me add a little bit of light here. I'm always afraid of adding too much light, because then you get, right, like the light that candles brightens everything. But that is the painting. That was done on, I think this is the premium Spraycasso poster board. So it's not as glossy as the other one. I'm not sure. I think that's what that was. But anyways, you can always tell if it's a Spraycasso poster board. It has a title block. You put your name, the date, spray paint, poster board, and the title. So, all right, guys, look at that. I think we're going to conclude our short little tutorial get together. And hopefully this tutorial has helped you know or figure out how to add additional layers once you're done with a painting. So even if you're done and you just need to walk away, that's okay. That's okay. You can definitely do that. Just keep in mind that not all spray paints work well together. So if you use Krylon and Rust-Oleum, you'll see some crackling. So keep in mind that sometimes that may not be a possibility. Experiment, guys. But yes, if you experiment correctly and you have a nice thick layer of clear coat, more often than not, you'll be able to come through and add light layers. But all right, crew, I hope you've enjoyed today's little short tutorial on how to add highlights and just add in general. Just keep adding to your paintings until you're comfortable with it. To be honest with you, I'll probably hit it one more time before I ship it out, just because OCD, right? I got a touch of that ism, man. And so sometimes I look at it too much and I start figuring like, oh, you know what would look cool? You know, maybe darken this up a little bit more and then add some highlights, and then forget it, dude. I'm here another 2 days. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you all for hanging out with me. Until next time, crew. As always, keep that can shaking. Later, guys.